Donald Trump fired the first shot at Canada this week in his pledge to crack down on what he sees as unfair trade practices. And it was quite the opening volley put out by the Americans, a 20% tariff on softwood lumber imports coming from Canada. If you'd like to see a really great primer as to how this all got started, check out Brian Lilly's video from yesterday. If you've watched it, you'll know that this is all stemming from Canada's very protectionist dairy industry and our supply management system, of which Trump has taken dead aim against. But today, there was a huge return of fire from Premier Christy Clark. She wrote to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau today, calling on Canada to ban all U.S. thermal coal exports from BC ports headed to Asia. This is a remarkable display of leadership, and it puts the ball right back in the hands of Trump. Let him now try to explain to all those coal miners he campaigned on putting back to work that their product won't be getting exported so easily. And the reason this is such a big league move is that right now the US is finding it awfully difficult to get any coal exported from its own West Coast ports, as authorities in Democrat-controlled Washington, Oregon, and California have blocked any such facilities from being opened and have blocked all exports through their ports to this point. And with China no longer accepting coal from North Korea, the US was set to fill that void. Now, that may become even more difficult. The Premier's letter to Justin Trudeau features two other key points. First, this ban of thermal coal exports will actually allow BC to up its own exports of metallurgical coal, of which we have some of the most beautiful, highest quality in the world. Up in Tumbler Ridge, BC, we've seen a revival of our own coal industry, with old mines actually starting up again. This is a great opportunity for our own coal producers to fill the void of exports at our coal ports and offset any job losses. But also, right at the end of the letter, Christy Clark reminds Justin Trudeau that if he's not willing to stand up to Trump, put on his big boy pants, and ban these coal shipments, well, she will. That's leadership, folks. And remember, with Trump, it's always a negotiation, and I suspect he may have actually gained a little respect for us with this strong response. But what about BC NDP leader John Horgan? Well, he had this to say about forestry tariffs yesterday, quote, "If I am elected Premier, I will travel to Washington, D.C. within 30 days to make sure BC is properly represented in the softwood lumber dispute. I will sit down with U.S. representatives, and I will ensure our government is taking every possible action to get a deal on softwood lumber to protect the jobs in our forestry industry." But that's a big change of tune for Horgan, who on April 11th said this.
And what did the Liberals do? In February, they appointed a guy to go down and try and deal with Donald Trump. Well, good luck with that. Good luck with that.
Good luck with that? Well, that's pretty defeatist there, Mr. Horgan. You know, one thing I hate about NDPers and some Liberals in Canada is that they seem to have the deep seeds of anti-American sentiment. That has only increased with Trump's election, so it actually didn't surprise me that the NDP candidate for Columbia River Revelstoke, Jerry Taft, said this when discussing a potential softwood lumber agreement. Quote, "I gotta be honest, I'm not holding a lot of faith in that until Trump's impeached, which hopefully happens soon. Sooner rather than later," unquote. Well, now you know it's not just Democrats down south who suffer from Trump derangement, but our own New Democrats in Canada as well. But even more ominous than the Horgan comment or that idiotic statement praying for impeachment of Trump by an NDP candidate, it's the relationship between the NDP and the United Steelworkers Union. We know they gave over $650,000 to the BC NDP in 2016. We know they are paying the salaries of at least 2 NDP campaign staffers this election. So whose interests would John Horgan represent? The steelworkers, who actually represent more U.S. forestry workers than Canadian forestry workers, and had their leader, Leo Gerard, stand next to Trump last week as he called Canadian forestry a, quote, disgrace. Can we really trust the BC NDP and their union puppet masters to look out for Canadian forestry, all while firing back hard at Trump in what could be the first stage of NAFTA renegotiation? I don't think our province can take that risk. For the Rebel.media, I'm Christopher Wilson. Thanks for watching. As always, keep it locked to the Rebel Canada YouTube page for all your updates for the BC election.